G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about this contradiction when it comes to doing something like breathwork, yoga, doing some journaling, having an open conversation with your mates or your missus or a family member when it comes to being a man. So I never really had much of a problem getting into breathwork per se. When I got into yoga, it was a little bit weird at first, like being one of the only guys in the room, and there were certain times we did certain poses that I felt very vulnerable in that position, in the sense it was just an awkward, like open pose. So I can see why guys can get a little bit weirded out about it at times. But the premise behind this message today is the fact that we are finding more and more how effective modalities like breathwork and meditation are for us. And with my experience over the past 6 to 12 months, I've started to realize that I've got to remove a lot of the layers and a lot of the masks that I wear that are pretty much ways of me protecting myself. I'm not the big macho guy, but I've definitely tried to develop a little bit of toughness at times as a way to protect myself. And we should all be strong, and we should, I think, all have a little bit of armor at times, but we've got to question why it's there too. So in this time, in this experience, one of the things that breathwork and meditation has done for me is kind of separated myself, or give me the time to find stillness, to separate myself from identifying my own success and my own worth and my own value into my external achievements, into what I lift in the gym, into how my body looks and how it presents across social media, what time I can run, how good of a coach I am or I am not. It started to make me realize that these things are all worth pursuing, and it's worth discovering our own physical abilities and working towards having a good physique and a good career, a good business, whatever it may be. However, we start to lose sight of the fact that that isn't us. Like, that is a construct that we've made that our ego likes to identify with, so we fit the picture that this world has created for us for what success is. That sounds a little bit abstract, but what I'm getting is that when you really get to the point with practicing breathwork, meditation, or for guys that have never done that or never done yoga, and you've been out in the wilderness, out at the beach, and you've just had these moments where you're connected to nature or just by yourself, and you weren't in your head, you weren't in your thoughts and your emotions, and you were just in the moment, just in the present moment. This is a time that you realize, wow, like right now, this is just enough right here. And I think when we practice things like breathwork and meditation, it gives us more of a taste of that. It's not only a preventative measure to help us to work on our mental well-being, being less reactive about things, getting less triggered, also supporting things like anxiety, depression. Not only that, but also you're supporting your recovery when it comes to all the training that you're doing, and your productivity when it comes to your career or comes to whatever business or businesses that you're building. But when you start to get more of a taste of that, you start to realize that all of these external things aren't entirely you. And you start to get less triggered, less reactive about a lot of things, because you become more secure, less insecure. When it comes to security or insecurity with breathwork, meditation, and yoga, we've got to consider that most men out there probably aren't doing it. We've got more people getting into it, more and more getting into it, because we've got different leaders and figures that are inspiring us to do that, because they're strong or grounded men and they're doing these things. They're like, oh, maybe we can do that too. But you shouldn't necessarily have to wait for someone to confirm or give you permission to do it, even with this video today. If you're really someone who is working on becoming a better version of himself, the best man that he can be, secure and confident within himself, because we know that means we're going to have a better quality of life, we're going to make better decisions, we're going to be worried less about what other people think, we're going to be worried less about getting rejected by friends, family, or partners based on the things that we want to do, that we want to pursue, that will make us happy. Because we're secure enough to do those things, because we're not worried about what these people think. And again, when it comes to men, This is the thing that stops them. I've had plenty of times where I've taught breath work and I see someone's doing it for their first time and they're fidgety, they're looking around a little bit, people start walking past, they're feeling a bit odd, they're feeling a bit insecure because they're worried about what people think about them in their environment. No classic saying, no saber-toothed tiger is about to jump on them, right? But they have that anxiety there and they have these self-protective mechanisms there. And the funny thing now is that the biggest fear that we have with how our body reacts and how we get anxious is how we identify ourselves, but how we look to other people, right? Like we're always trying to fit this certain identity to meet other people's perspectives. And you can say it all you want, you don't care what other people think. I've said it plenty of times and I believed it. I honestly believed it. I've heard clients say it and I've noticed in myself and other people who have said this, you really do give a shit what people think. Otherwise, you would be living your life in a very different way. There's certain things that I would have strived for or done or taken a shot at in business if I wasn't scared of failing or putting something out there only for it to not work out because I'm worried about what people think of me or I'm worried about just feeling like a failure in general. And so when it comes to the whole concept of this message today, it's literally that we don't do things like breath work, yoga, and meditation for the 50-second time because we're insecure of what people think about us doing them. Now, it's not only that. It's another thing to add to the to-do list. It's another more time out of your day. It's more effort. But the other thing that you could layer in with that is that you might suck at it at first. You might suck for a while, and that's okay too. Like, think about the first time that you went into the gym. You were probably shit. The first time that you went for a run, you felt like you were dying. The first time that you went into a boxing, Muay Thai, MMA gym, you got your ass kicked or you were just wrecked like 15 to 30 minutes in, whatever it may have been. Like, we have this phase where we actually have to learn and get better at doing something. So I think it's not only just the fact that there's insecurity and a fear of what other people think of us doing it, especially as guys, you're worried about what your mates or other male figures in your life thinking of you doing it. But there is obviously a cost of effort and time associated with it. And that's the final thing I want to end on. If you're someone that wants to see the benefits from what these things can do for your mental well-being, productivity, focus, recovery, which is going to influence your physical fitness and performance, don't feel like you have to do it for 1 to 2 hours a day. Like, there's obviously certain modalities out there or classes out there when it comes to yoga that are going to be a certain amount of time, but you could literally do like 5 to 10 minutes of breath work in a day. If you wanted to do a little bit of yoga, you could easily do that in under 20 minutes, under 30 minutes at the most. And if you're using something like journaling, like 5 to 10 minutes, if you pair those together, you could literally do it all in like 30 minutes in a day, or let's say tops 40 minutes in a day. If we did 20, 10, 10, yeah, that works out. So if you're someone who wants to get into yoga, if you want to get into breath work and meditation and see the benefits of that, I would just highly recommend starting with that minimal effective dose of time, and understand that if you're someone that's a little bit uncomfortable doing it at first, just know that discomfort isn't just you going for a run or lifting heavy weights or fucking being in a calorie deficit long enough for you to see your abs. Like, discomfort is doing things that you're not good at, that put you in a position where you have to contemplate your thoughts and have them circling around without you trying to escape them through productivity, whether it be physical fitness or whether it be working or distracting yourself with habits that aren't so productive. And that's where we're going to wrap it up today, guys. The final message being, if you're someone that has held yourself back from managing your own performance and mental well-being through modalities like breathwork, meditation, yoga, journaling, I would highly advise that you do it and ask yourself why you haven't yet, if you've never tried it. That's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video this week. Another little bit of a rant. If you haven't already, watch the last podcast we did on Sunday. It was released Sunday. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify with PJ Corey. It was an awesome podcast. This guy's an entrepreneur with a holistic approach to success in business. I learned a lot in that episode myself, and I'd highly recommend that you guys give it a listen to see what you can take away from it too. But I'll see you next time in the next episode, where we've got a really cool guest who's achieved some pretty cool things who'll be coming on the podcast. So that'll be released this Sunday. See you guys next time and enjoy the rest of your week.